Boom. Just like that, baby. We're back in here for an episode of Weekly Win Streak. We switched sides this time. This time I'm on the right side. Bro's on the left side. Don't know what that means, but it means I guess we got to switch the mojo up, bro, because we need some fucking wins today, man. It's been a tough run for both your boys, but we ain't going to hide from it. We're going to get y'all right today. As always, guys, we appreciate everyone who comes in here and shows us love every single time we go live. We can't do these shows without y'all. We're about to break down the biggest games today in college football and then get y'all out of here and let y'all go about your days. We know y'all got a lot going on. Bro, what's your plans today for college football Saturday, man?
Yeah, honestly, for the first part of it, just kind of kicking, watching the games, trying to clean up the apartment a little bit while we're kicking it. And then got a big golf match tomorrow. So just laying low, having a nice, easy day of things today. What about you?
I'm about to go get my haircut. Then I'm gonna watch my Florida State Seminoles hopefully get our first dub of the season, and then I'm gonna get ready, man. Because after that, pretty much I only have one early game. Then after that, my slate really gets kicked off. So I'm just gonna try to keep my mental sanity together before we get to that big slate at nighttime. So yeah, man, it should be a fun day. I'm hosting a little watch party down the street for the Georgia and the for Georgia versus Kentucky tonight. So should be a good Saturday, man. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, I saw a little watch party. I said, damn, if I was in Georgia, I'd be there. We'd be turning up.
Hey, it's not too late, man. Hop on a little flight. You'll get here in time.
I could. That'd be fucking crazy.
Yeah, dude. If Bro flew in for the party, it'd be insane. But anyway, guys, we know why y'all are here. Y'all want to hear us talk about the plays and what all we got today. Before we get into those plays for y'all real quick here, we're going to let a couple more people flow in. Bro, did you take either of those games last night?
The college football games?
Yeah.
I sure fucking did. And fuck Same. Arizona and also fuck Kansas. Dude. Both of them. Listen, I don't even mind Kansas losing because we know they're shit, but for them not to put up – how do you put up 30 in the first half and we can't get to fucking 56? We can't get to 56. You're supposed to score more in the second half. And then Arizona just looked terrible. And a total misread by me because Kansas State, they looked awesome. I don't know what I missed. I don't know what I missed in my cap, but I missed something. And I got, guys, I'm not going to lie, I got fucking shited on. Absolutely dog walked yesterday. If the Yankees didn't push, we would have gotten reverse swept for the first time in I don't know how long. So let's get all the bad juju out. That was yesterday. Today's today. TP3, what about you? Were you in any of the action?
Yeah, unfortunately, I was on Kansas. I was feeling pretty good until Jalen Daniels threw the dumbest interception ever going into halftime, and then they somehow allowed that fucking wheel route to be a touchdown. I mean, it was like that happened, and it was, it's like you make that one mistake, and then you just keep on making a million more to try to make up for the one mistake, and you just can't accept the fact that you made one mistake. So, I think that at the end of the day, man, that Kansas is ass, honestly. And then on the flip side of things, on the Arizona game, I think Arizona was 100% the wrong side in that game. I don't think Kansas State's that good, to be honest with you. I just think Arizona has zero defense. I mean, their defense was also on the field the whole game, I guess. I guess their defense played better than that, but they couldn't keep Kansas State out of their backfield. And Fafia holds the ball way too long, man. They kept getting all those holding penalties and stuff. It's like if he doesn't see somebody downfield, he just tries to run around for like hours and hours in the backfield. So honestly, I think Fafia held onto the ball way too long in that game, kind of fucked over the offensive line. So that's the way it is. But we got people flowing in here right now. Bro, you want to give them the commercial real quick, and then we'll get into our first games of the day here today?
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Worldwide, the only traveling you do is from your mother's couch to the fucking bathroom and to the fucking mother's couch again.
That's facts.
That's what type of take I got for you, brother. Keep running that shit up. Thanks for the comment. Anyways, SoBet, guys, it's where you get over 50 veteran professional sports experts and their picks and their plays all in one place. So many different sports. We got soccer, football, baseball, basketball. We have it all. I wanted to take the Fever yesterday. WNBA didn't take them. They would have pushed. But we have it all over there on SoBet, guys. And if there are people that, like MMA, if there are people that like to do boxing, we have that too. And I know there's a big card for the MMA today. So if you guys are interested, make sure you're over there on SoBet. A lot of people are really, really good in the MMA. I know TP3 and myself don't really dabble too much there. That said, though, it's the only place you're going to get all the locks, all the plays in one place. And even if you don't tail them, It's great information, great insight. You're paying people to do the research for you. It's like, fuck, man. Could we all change our oil in our car? Maybe. Or like change a tire? Probably. But isn't it so much easier just to go fucking pay somebody else to do it and you just chill? That's basically what we're talking about here. So bet today. Sign up code TP3. Sign up code bro, and all social media bios. TP3. I think it's time we talk about the game that we are most excited for today. Maybe it's a game you have a play in. Maybe it's not. But the game that you are most excited for today.
Man, the game I'm most excited for today, and I don't have to have a play in it.
You don't have to, no.
I think the game I'm most excited, that's tough, honestly. The game I'm most excited to watch today, guys. I'm most excited. Ole Miss take Wake Forest out behind the woodshed today. And the reason why I'm excited to watch this game is I'll let Bro talk about the Lane Kiffin motivation factors. I don't want to steal his thunder on those parts. But when I look at this matchup, man, Jackson Dart, I think Lane Kiffin's really trying to get him Heisman right now, and they're trying to run these scores up. Lane Kiffin knows the spread in these games. Sure, the number drops a little bit, but there's always sharp action that comes in on fucking losing sides in college football all the time. I can't tell you guys the amount of times you see it happen. And you look at Ole Miss, they have absolutely blasted opponents. They've given up 3 points so far, and they've scored 50-plus in both games, including 76 on an FCS team. I have Wake Forest not even a bowl team this year. And you look at Ole Miss, they've been destroying teams passing the ball, they've been destroying teams on the ground. They're running the scores up in these games. They're getting leads, and they're not putting the car in the garage. They're saying, oh, we already got the lead. Now let's take it to 120 and keep going. It's a road game here, man. Wake Forest is going to try to pack this thing out for a night game. I think Wake Forest, though, is going to get run off the TV in this game. I just don't see how they hang around with Ole Miss in this game. Ole Miss, I think they get off the bus, as I like to say with Wake Forest. They get off the bus and never have a chance here. Give me the running Rebs minus 21 points here in this game. I got Ole Miss, man.
I love it. So the game that I'm most excited for in this game are two different games.
Okay.
I'm waiting to see if any public movement will help me just a bit. Because this number shot up and now it's coming down just a tiny bit. I'd like to see it. The magic number is 59 for over and unders.
Yeah.
Everybody, that's like your fucking lock number. It's at 58.5 right now. I really would like it to just drop to maybe 57.5, 58. I don't know if necessarily it's going to happen, but I'd love to see that movement. Anyways, the game that I'm most excited for, and then we're going to pivot back to Ole Miss, is Colorado State.
Okay.
Listen, I'm one of the biggest Colorado haters, but to say that Dion doesn't bring some juice to these games, to these matchups, it's a fucking lie, man. These games, Colorado is entertainment, whether they're getting shit stomped or whether they're putting up points. Like last week against Nebraska, Colorado-Nebraska was one of the most watched nationally televised games. People want to see them play. Fact of the matter. They want to see Shedeur. They want to see Travis Hunter and all those boys. These teams hate each other. And I love rivalry games like this.
Okay.
So I am really, really excited to watch Colorado State. I do believe I'm probably going to hit the over, but it's just a situation right now to where I'd like to see a little more movement. And also, it's a later game. I'd also like to make sure I'm not getting my fucking dick kicked in like I was yesterday before going too crazy today. We already have a lot of units risk because I like a lot of the early plays. Now, pivoting back to
wait. I want to say something on this game real quick.
Yes. TP3, enlighten me, please. I need it.
Yeah, no, I want to talk about this game. To be honest with y'all, I feel like everybody's on Colorado State. I just look, to be honest with y'all, I don't really bet on Colorado games that much. Like, I'm not I don't know. I feel like there's too much hype there, and they're just like the really public games. And I think they have an explosive offense, so I think they're good as a dog, but as a favorite, I don't really like them. But I thought Colorado State would be better. They haven't looked that great so far. I mean, Texas did beat the brakes off them respectfully. Colorado is not in the same atmosphere as Texas, so it's a little different here. But you look right now on the spread, 77% of the bets right now are on Colorado State. You look at the money line. Colorado State's getting 53% of the money line wagers, and they're a huge underdog in this game. The most wagered on play in this game is Colorado State money line. I think Colorado is going to be able to spread them out and score at will here. I mean, their defense is not big enough in the trenches. Like, I feel like Colorado struggles against teams who want to run down your throat and push you around with a line. I think Colorado's going to have a chance to cover the spread. I have a hard time seeing them start this season out 0-3 against the spread, but I agree with you on the over. I mean, they do have, I think it's Taylor or Torrey Horton, wide receiver. He's one of the best wide receivers in the nation on Colorado State. He's going to have a good game, man. I mean, Travis Hunter is going to be doing stuff on offense. If y'all forget, they knocked Travis Hunter out in this game. There's a lot of bad blood in this game. I feel like Colorado tried to act like they weren't super focused on this game in the offseason. But after 2 poor performances to start the season off, I think Colorado tries to come correct here. As a Florida State guy, I'm a Coach Prime guy, so I'm going to be pulling for Coach Prime tonight.
We love it. Yeah, and I don't hate – if I had to pick a side, I would take Colorado as well. But if what you're saying is true, we should see some movement in our favor as the evening goes on. I don't like 7.5. I'd probably buy to 7 if I was going to back Colorado, but I think you make a very good point. He's gonna. I mean, it's a road atmosphere. It's going to be ruckus there, but I think it's going to be a great game nonetheless. Yeah. But pivoting back to Ole Miss, guys, Lane Kiffin. This is his time to establish himself as the coach of the SEC, the destination of the SEC, the place to be, the big dog. And last night I was fucking raging. 3 a.m. had SEC Network on.
Here we go.
I listened to an interview, and this guy, I thought he was just a dude that like is hitting, hitting baddies, and slamming the younger biddies and just like partying. No, this dude is a warrior. He's got his guys ready for war. He's motivated. He's like really intense, almost like awkwardly intense. And I love Ole Miss. I also have Ole Miss. I have a -20. Love it. Just a little bit of insurance in case there's field goals as opposed to a touchdown or a missed extra point or some shit like that. At least then we have push insurance and we don't lose outright on a 3-touchdown spread. But I think Ole Miss, they have the number 2 run defense in the entire nation. And I don't see any world where they're going to get run on. And it's going to force that team to be one-dimensional. And then Ole Miss just pins their ears back and come after them. And then, dude, Wake Forest is they're not good. They're just not good. And that it is what it is. And they're not good at protecting the quarterback either. So love the play, TP3. What's your next lock that you got for us?
Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, I want to talk about a game real quick here that I'm interested in. I'm not going to play it here out of principle, but what do you think about this Alabama-Wisconsin game?
Well, it's actually a great segue. I may or may not have a play on SoBet. So if you're not subscribed,
okay,
get over there. I got to say, I find it very interesting that the spread isn't larger, to be honest with you. I haven't been impressed with anything that Wisconsin has done so far. I'm just a little bit concerned about home field, traveling, and the type of win that Alabama had to produce last game is something that is draining, that can take a lot out of you. Now, granted, this isn't the NBA, this isn't the MLB where the next day you're playing or the day after you're playing, so they do have time to, to recover, to recoup, but something to be said about having to really, that was a team I think they expected to beat by, a few touchdowns and be able to coast into the end, not have to fucking go full nuclear at the end. But it'll be interesting to see. I think it's going to be a fun matchup, ACC or SEC Big Ten. Normally for the Big Ten, it doesn't go very well. It doesn't go very well. But yeah. What do you got to say about it? What are you most excited for, or what are you looking for in this matchup?
Yeah, so honestly, man, when I look at this game here today, I wanted to jump in on Alabama originally. I saw 14.5 flash at the start of the week. I was like, okay. I don't hate that. So it opened at 10.5. So like, if you bet it in the look ahead, it was 10. Somehow Alabama looks like shit against USF. Sure, Wisconsin's looked horrible in their first 2 games. But now the spread's sitting at 16.5. Out of principle, I can't jump in on it. But I don't see how Wisconsin scores. I don't see how Wisconsin does anything. Alabama's offensive line hasn't played very well. Milroe kind of holds the ball too long. But I think Alabama's the much better team. I don't like anything I see out of this Wisconsin team. They could barely even pull away from Western Michigan. To be honest with you, I really don't see how they scored in this game at all. I think it's supposed to be windy in this game as well. But when I look at this Alabama team, they're allowing a lot of havoc in their backfield. I think as a first true road game with a new coach, those are the 2 factors that are scaring me off the play. But to be honest with y'all, I couldn't talk anybody off laying it with Alabama. I just don't see how Wisconsin keeps up in this game. I don't like. I used to be one of the leaders. I'm a Florida State guy, and I used to think Tyler Van Dyke was going to be him. The guy has not been good so far. So I think that ultimately Alabama is going to win this game with margin. But out of principle, I just can't bet on this game.
Yeah, and I was looking at Van Dyke's stats. Didn't he? He only threw for he hasn't thrown for damn near anything. Like, they thought this was going to be a spread it out, air it out. He hasn't been able to do anything. I mean, a 2-touchdown win against Western Michigan, that's kind of concerning. You're expecting that to be, maybe they just came out a little flat. But, what up, Dimes? What up, Dimes? But, okay, so you wouldn't be against somebody laying the chalk there on the Tide then, you say?
No, I think it's the only way to play the game. It's just out of principle, I can't jump in on it. But I think that Alabama, I would rather see, that's the thing. Some of these teams still have unknowns. I would, when I graded all these games, I felt like this is more one I'd rather see lay it. For me was Missouri versus Boston College. Missouri are 14.5 point favorite, total at 52.5. I wanted to hit either Missouri minus the 14.5 or the over in this game. The one thing that scares me though, so if you look at Missouri's been just taking it easy in these games. As I like to say, they haven't taken the car out of the garage yet. Theo Weiss and Luther Burden have played the 4th and 5th most snaps for them so far at wide receiver, which is crazy to think about at the point we sit in. But, you look at Missouri, Missouri can score at will. Brady Cook can launch it down the field. They're going to be a lot bigger in the trenches than Boston College in this game, so they should be able to push them around. But Boston College is a run-heavy team. If Boston College gets down in this game, they're not really going to be able to get back in the game. So, I think the blowout has a huge factor here in this game. But at the same time, Boston College can take the lead and Missouri falters 2 or 3 times in a row on offense. Boston College could sit on the ball like a fucking triple option team, and Missouri could fuck around and have barely any chances to score in this game and barely win. So I don't know. It's a really weird game in my opinion. The game's either going to go where Missouri sits on the ball the whole time. Where Boston College sits on the ball the whole time. Missouri's still going to win this game no matter what, but they're either going to sit on the ball and keep it close, or Missouri's just going to absolutely take them out behind the woodshed and smoke them. So when I saw that scared me off the game a little bit when I thought about it in that way. But I think that Missouri's going to clean up, and I really like the over in that game.
Yeah. And, I couldn't agree more. But Castellanos, they're a tough little team there, Boston College. They're tough little guys. I'll also say in the Bama game, dude, I like the under a lot too. I think those are 2 games where the under is playable for sure. Okay. So with Boston College, you got no game. You got no skin in the game. And I think it's also it's something to be said. Listen, these rankings, these national rankings, this is only a 2-week old thing. Okay, so seeing a 24, a 25 next to Boston College, it doesn't mean anything. It truly doesn't mean anything. Okay, it doesn't. It's based on other perceptions of numbers that were just made up, made up by a committee of people. So I wouldn't put too much value in the fact that Boston College is ranked. Let's come back to this in a couple of weeks and see where they stand. So next play that I am willing to part with comes in a rivalry game.
Okay.
And I told you I love rivalry games. The Apple Cup out there in good old Washington. You got any skin there? You got any skin in that?
No, but when I look at this game, man, I don't think Washington State's any good, to be honest with you. I think Washington State lost a lot in the portal, and I just don't think their offense can really move the football here against Washington. I think Washington's going to run all over them, and I actually think Will Rogers looks pretty good. I was pretty close to playing Washington in this game.
Yeah, I love it. I love that you love it. It just makes like when TP3 signs off on something, it's all right, all is good in the world. All is good in the world.
Yeah.
It's like when you can't figure out if you want to order food or not. Do I want to order food? I'm hanging out, kicking with the boys, and then your dude's like, yo, you hungry? You're like, bang! All right, hell yeah. Affirmed my thoughts, affirmed my actions. We love it. But listen, Rodgers does look great, and he's settled right into this offense. I think it really works well for him. in terms of being able to kind of operate in almost like a pro style offense, but still utilize his mobility to his advantage. Also, let's not forget, like, where Washington State is ranked right now is based off of a lot of what they did last year. And people forget they had quarterback Cam Ward, who's now that stud in Miami. They no longer have him. He's not there any longer. And now they got some dude who only threw 115 yards against Texas Tech. Let me say that again. He only threw for 115 yards against Texas Tech, one of the worst defenses in all of college football against the pass. I just don't see any way you don't back Washington. I have Washington minus 5.5. That's one of the plays we're going to go ahead and rock and roll with for you. Also, if you're into college football player props, I really, really look at Coleman over rush attempts and Coleman over rush yards. This dude, he followed the coach that just came in from Arizona. And when Arizona played Washington State, they fucking boat raced them last year. Okay, so we're bringing over that same scheme. We're bringing over the running back. The running back went for almost 200 against Washington State when he played for Arizona. So I really, really like Coleman, who's the running back for Washington, to perform well today. If you have player props available in your market, those are player props I would really look to take advantage of.
I like those player prop looks. College football player props are super sharp. Let me give y'all a free play. Let's go. We got two marquee matchups, but we'll keep the trend going here. Bro says he likes rivalry games. Well, TP3 also likes rivalry games, man. Yeah. Let's go over here to the backyard brawl kicking off at 3:30, and I got a free play for y'all in this game. West Virginia minus 1.5. I just think this line is completely off here. Everyone's gassing up Pittsburgh because they pulled off a huge come-from-behind victory against a Cincinnati team that sucks. I think Scott Satterfield's the most overrated coach in all of college football. I don't know how he got another gig after South Carolina. He should have gone back to the Sun Belt. Anyway, you look at Pittsburgh. This defense is horrible. They're 95th in scoring defense, 79th in total defense, and 86th in defensive finishing drives. Anybody can move the ball down the field and score on Pitt at will. West Virginia's 22nd in rush EPA. Garrett Green's been using his legs. They're going to run the ball with their backs in this game, downhill on them. I think it's CJ Donaldson's their other running back. They're going to run all over them in this game. I think West Virginia gets out to a lead here and never looks back because Pittsburgh won't be able to get them off the field here. I mean, this was almost a 2-unit play for me. This line opened at 5 and continued to get bet down. I get it. It's a home dog in a rivalry game, but there's a problem here. Pittsburgh's not any good, guys. Pittsburgh is not making a bowl game. West Virginia is definitely a bowl team. People are picking him as a dark horse to make the college football playoff. Well, I think that's ridiculous. West Virginia is definitely a 7 to 8 win team. I'm taking West Virginia in this game -2. I think Pittsburgh gets off the bus and doesn't have a chance.
Yeah. So I looked at this game and I almost threw it in the parlay that I'm going to give you guys at the end. That's right. I'm going to give you a 4-leg college football parlay at the end of this. But I just don't know enough about Pittsburgh. I don't know enough about that team. They're just they've just been known to be a physical, tough team. I wanted to slam West Virginia money line so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. Like, when you have an opportunity of a pick'em situation there with two completely different conflicting styles of play, like West Virginia's up and down, Pittsburgh's like, oh, I just want to grudge it out. And
yep.
It's very, very, it's very tough to know who's going to establish that play style in the game. So for me, I stayed off of it. Mm-hmm. But in my capping, the only way I could go with it is West Virginia. And I feel like this should be 3.5 to 4 in terms of the spread, as opposed to almost like pick 'em. Like basically it's 1.5 to 2, depending on what book you're using.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you on that. I think the spread should be much higher than it is. So we'll gladly lay it here with the Mountaineers. Let's see here. I got another free play, though, for y'all. I know I talked about a bunch of – after I give out this next free play, I want to talk about some other interesting games, and we can get another play in. We're about to hit the 30-minute mark on here. Guys, if y'all have any games y'all want to hear us talk about, put them in the comments right now, and we'll go over them for you as best we can. Another big game I want to talk about on here. I know a lot of y'all are going to be watching, and it's a 3:30 kickoff here. Texas A&M taking on Florida in this game. When you look at this matchup between these two teams, guys, so they said it was supposed to be a rain game. You look right now at the weather down in Gainesville. It says it's only supposed to rain like a little bit before the game, which I think bodes well for this. So money's coming in right now in Florida. They're down to +3. They were +4 earlier in the week. Texas A&M may be rotating quarterbacks in this game, which is perfectly fine with me. But you look at Florida, they're going to have Graham Mertz back here. DJ Lagway, though, is going to get playing time here. The kid's a total stud. Both teams are missing key players in their secondary. But Texas A&M and Florida, man, both these teams will be able to move the ball on each other. Florida's defense has been bad. I had some trends in my video earlier. Florida's gone over in 8 out of their last 10 games. Texas A&M's gone over in 6 out of their last 9 SEC games and 4 out of their last 5 games as well. And you look at this game, dude, it's going to be hot and humid in the swamp. These players are going to get tired on defense. I think there's going to be turnovers in this game. It's going to get sloppy. To say this game's 45.5 is ridiculous. This is like that's like saying that it's like Georgia versus Ohio State. These defenses are not even close to Georgia and Ohio State. There's going to be points in this game. There's going to be turnovers. There's going to be missed fourth downs. I think this game hits 50+ easily, so we'll take the over in this game.
We love it. We love it. That's actually really sharp. Really sharp. I don't hate that at all. I don't hate that at all. And you brought up another team. You said Georgia and Ohio State. I think those dogs, they play today too. No?
Yup.
You got any opinions on that game? I don't know if you have a play or not in that game, but
you know what call? I do have a play in my VIP over on SoBet. Let's just put it this way, guys. Who's that coming down the track? You know who's coming down the track, bro?
It's the
Mean Machine in red and black. That's how the song goes. They say, "Who's that coming down the track?" It's the Mean Machine in red and black.
Yeah. Oh, man. No, it's the it's Ugga.
No, it goes, "Who's that coming down the track?" It's the Mean Machine in red and black. Ain't nothing finer in the land than a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan. Then they go, "Go Dogs, go Dogs, go Dogs," and they go, "Woo." They call it calling the dogs. If you ever go to Athens or you ever come down south and Georgia's playing, to lead up to the game, get everyone hyped up, they call the dogs, as they call it, multiple times. And then during the game, they call the dogs as well. Yeah, so that's their little chant they get going. But anyway, when I look at this game, man, I just don't see how Kentucky scores the football. Like, Kentucky couldn't do anything in South Carolina last week. Clemson scored 60 points in like 3 quarters on App State last week, and they couldn't even they ran 2 plays across the Georgia 50. To be honest with you guys, I just don't see how Kentucky has any chance in this game. I'm not going to give away what my play is here, but I don't think they have a chance today.
I also am not going to give away my play. Why? Because I don't have one quite yet. Why? Because, well, we're waiting to make sure, again, that we do not get our dick kicked in. But just so you know, there's a DraftKings boost, and I advise you to use that in a wager for the dogs in some way, shape, or form. Okay? TB3, you're so right, dude. The old Kentucky teams that were competing, that were really tough, it's over. It's not the same team. That's not the same program anymore. Not the same style of offense. Like, it's completely different, completely changed, completely new personnel. And this Georgia team is scary good. There are 3 teams at this point in time, in my eyes, that can compete for a national championship right here, right now. And TP3, tell me if you agree. I think those 3 teams go as follows. It's Texas, it's Ohio State, and then it's Georgia. In no particular order, obviously. No particular order. But those 3 teams, I think those are the only 3 teams that are in consideration for a national championship.
I'm going Georgia at 1. To be honest with you, I haven't watched Ohio State play enough. I've just rewatched some of their games. I feel like they haven't played a real game yet, but I'll still throw their hat in the mix. So I'll go Ohio State, Texas, and Ole Miss. I'm going Georgia at 1, then I have all 3 of those teams tied. I think
Ole Miss is like notable mention. Honorable mention for sure.
Then I had Oregon in there, but I bumped Oregon down so much. I wouldn't be shocked if Oregon loses today. Let's talk about it. You got to play in the Civil War today, and since we're continuing Rivalry Saturday here.
Oh, it is Rivalry Saturday. No, I don't. I don't have a play in it, but I'll tell you this. My favorite animal is the otter, and otters are very similar to beavers. So I'm going to go with the aquatic animal that looks close to my favorite animal, and we're going to have a day at the fucking zoo. We're going to have a day at the zoo. Fuck the Ducks. Fuck the Ducks. They fucked me twice. Sold on a parlay. They didn't cover the next week either. Bunch of fucking bums over there. I think they're overrated. Do the Beavers win straight up? It's a tall task, but shit, man. Oregon has looked terrible. You don't have a play in this, do you? You don't have a play.
No, I didn't touch this game. I honestly, I don't know if I like Oregon State enough to jump in on them here, but I do think Oregon isn't, like you said, one, they're not that good, and two, Oregon hasn't won as a favorite in Corvallis, but I think they've won like once in like the last like 5 tries or something crazy like that. Oregon usually struggles here, so I would lean towards the Beavers. The Beavers play. I mean, the Oregon State's one of the best home teams in all of college football. They're one of the best home ATS teams in all of college football. Let's see here. Let's do like 2 more leans and let's give out one more play and then we can call it. Let's see some other interesting matchups here on the board today. I guess we got to go to where game day's at. What do you think about LSU South Carolina? Any takes on that game?
Listen, I think Brian Kelly needs to be fired.
Really?
Okay, I just do. It's not working. He did the fake accent. He did all that. It's just a bunch of shit. He's a fucking scumbag. I'm sorry. I just don't like the guy. I don't like what he stands for. I don't like his energy. I don't like how he came out there. He's in his press conference. He blamed his team and then realized, fuck. I just basically took no accountability and then spun it back like I have to coach these guys better. That is not what you fucking meant, bro. That is not what you meant. You meant, how the fuck did these guys ruin it for me? That's exactly what you meant. I can't get behind this dude. I can't. I just can't. I do believe LSU wins the game, but I don't think they're as good as people are making them. Listen, I just don't. I don't. What about you, though? I don't have any play in it at all.
Dude, I think LSU gets right in this game. I think South Carolina's offense is not that great. And when I look at this offense here for South Carolina, all they're really doing is running RPOs with Rocket, Sanders, and Sellers. I don't think their passing offense is good enough in this game. The thing is, it's going to be raining during the game. And so that's the one thing that scared me off from laying it with LSU here is the rain. But if LSU is able to throw the ball around like they usually do, then they're going to have no problems moving the ball in this game. Kyron Lacey is a total stud on the edge. They did lose John Emery, their starting running back, but I think Nussmeier is pretty good here. LSU needs a good showing. I would lean with LSU laying the points here and then blowing South Carolina out. I'm just going to stay off it because of the weather factor. I think LSU is a little bit more of a pass team. If this game's really raining and South Carolina can muck it up, they can hang around here. I mean, the spread dropped from 7 to 6, but I still think that it's too short here. I think LSU is way better than 6 points to South Carolina. South Carolina is not a bowl team, in my opinion. LSU is a 9-win team. So I lean with LSU in this game, but I got to see them have a good showing here. And also, too, the strength of LSU's offensive line is their tackles. The strength of the offensive or the defensive line is the ends for South Carolina. So it's going to be strength on strength here as well, which I think gives LSU a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah, I like that. Also, somebody look this up for me? Can you possibly grow a butt chin? Never once in my life did I ever think I had one. And I'm sitting here looking at myself. I'm like, what the fuck is this? God damn, man. I got to grow. Oh, hard GD. Forgive me. But I got to grow a beard. I got to get something to handle this. This is terrible.
You might have to cancel bro. I'm just kidding.
Fuck, man. How are you going to let me be on air looking like this? I look like fucking Peter Griffin's living on my chin here.
Nah, bro. If you walked into a bar, you'd be all right. Trust me on that one. All right. I think we've covered all the big matchups today. Let's get another free play. Before we get a free play, guys, look, if y'all want to get all our plays today, I have 3 max plays, including a 3-unit play over on my SoBet. All you have to do is click that link right there. Use the promo code CP3 or what up to get all our plays. Bro's got a bunch of big time plays over there as well, guys. We're trying to get to it for y'all today. We've been putting in hours and hours of effort, energy, researching these games. So let's get some cash today. But for our last play here, me and Bro are both on the same play here. What did I tell you guys back in week 1? In Cignetti, we trust. Indiana head coach Kurt Cignetti comes over from James Madison. I told you guys, man, they literally said y'all are picked to finish second to last in the conference. He said, I ain't never even finished third at worst in my conference, let alone second to last. He's like, y'all got me fucked up. Well, it's not going to happen on my watch. He took it personally, guys. And you look, He ran it up on FIU. He ran it up last week on the Leathernecks of Western Illinois. And what's he going to do here in this game against UCLA, guys? UCLA doesn't have a true head coach on their team. If you look at UCLA, guys, UCLA lost their entire coaching staff. Basically, lost their defensive coordinator, Lynn. He's over at USC. They lost their head coach, Chip Kelly. He's the offensive coordinator now at Ohio State. They have nothing. They're arguably, I mean, this is like a complete rebuild for them here. I think Indiana comes out here and makes a statement here and dog walks the Bruins. They're favored here for a reason. I'll take a -3. I think they win by 2 touchdowns.
Yes. Be very careful. I love it. I love it, by the way. Be careful because dogs can work 2 ways. Dogs can work 2 ways. Sometimes seeing a home dog of like 2 or 3, You're like, oh, this is Vegas, trying to make me take the favorite when really it's mispriced and the underdog is who's going to win this game. And other times, the favorite is the favorite for the reason, and people are like, holy fuck, I can get the home team, UCLA, at plus money. That's what I'm going to do. No. Guys, I couldn't agree with TP3 more on this play. I love the Hoosiers here. They are top 25 in red zone efficiency this year, in red zone success this year. UCLA also is terrible running the football, okay? And Indiana is top 15 in QB pressures and top 10. They're actually 10th in the entire nation in sacks this year. Guys, if UCLA gets into a position where they have to be one-dimensional, y'all are going to see, y'all counter 10 now. Y'all, 11, are going to see a fucking beatdown in California, okay? This Hoosiers team is for real. I love it. -3, just by the hook, just in case some crazy shit happens. But listen, UCLA couldn't fucking do anything against Hawaii. They couldn't score in the red zone against Hawaii, man. And that team, they're garbage. They're weak. They're not physical at all. Now you're going to take against Indiana with a great defensive line? No, it's not fake, y'alls. All right. That's fair. But
yeah,
I love
saying y'all now that he was in Nashville down south last week, and he's got that southern drawl now, man. He's trying to change it. After I made fun of him for having a northern accent, now he's trying to change up to the southern drawl. But look, guys, that's all we got for today's slate, man. We gave out a lot of picks on this show today. We went over pretty much all the big games today. But yeah, we're ready to get to it, man. I'm excited for this Saturday. I think the odds are going to flip in our favor today. Bro, what do you have to say to the people, my man?
Can you see this?
The parlay
is the holy grail. This is the holy grail.
No
MLB today. Fuck the MLB. We have some plays, but not on this not on the show. We got to keep this under. This ain't Sports Center here. Guys, I'm gonna give you guys a parlay. I fucking love you. You guys mean the world to me. Seriously, you give me something to look forward to every single day. You guys give me a confidence that I don't have outside of this realm. Seriously, I love doing what I do, and I love you guys, and I can't thank you enough for tuning in. Here's what I got. 4 legs. It's plus 350 before a boost.
Yeah.
Plus 520 after the boost on DraftKings. We have Washington money line. We have Indiana money line. We have Coastal Carolina -9.5. And we have Ole Miss -13.5. That is 2 heavy favorites teased down by a touchdown. And then Indiana, who I think is mispriced today. This should be 6.5, in my opinion, the spread. At least 5.5. And then Washington, same thing. I think this is going to close where it opened. It opened at 7. It's going to close at 7. So getting them on the money line now, I think is... Listen, this is a tale as old as time. But I truly, in my fucking grapes, in my core, in my soul, believe this is going to cash today. It's Washington money line, Indiana money line, Coastal Carolina -9.5, Ole Miss -13.5. Chat, are you tailing or who is fucking selling that? Tell me.
Nobody's selling that. It's a lock, baby. We love it. We're getting this money today, guys. Like I said, if I had black Air Force Ones, I'd bring them out today for what I'm doing to the books today. It's us versus them, guys. We're going to have a fucking day today. As always, guys, we appreciate everyone who comes in here and tunes in for the show. May or may not come on here tomorrow. Bro's going to be golfing. I might hop on here by myself. We'll see how we're feeling. But as always, we appreciate all you tuning in. We can't do it without y'all. We love you guys. Hit that follow button if you haven't hit it already. We're on all socials, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TP3 Bets. What up, bro? Even if you don't join so bad, we still want y'all in the community for free plays.